Yo, what's up guys, it's Iron J Moto, and for today's video I figured I would talk about on a few groups that I'm a part of, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook. I've seen a few people talk about like, why would you turn a street bob club style? Fairings are ugly, it's a street bob, it should be like totally bobbed out, whatever. I figured I'd make a video on it, at least why me owning a street bob and wanting to do it club style. Obviously it's a subjective subject. Before I even continue on with the video, by all means, if you own a motorcycle, you can do whatever you want to your motorcycle. Who cares what anybody thinks? You know what I mean? This is really just an extension of your self-expression. So if you own a motorcycle, shout out to the fact that you own a motorcycle, and by all means do whatever you want to your bike because it's yours. F everybody. I got a 2019 Softail street bob. Why would you go into a club style route when it's a off the floor bobber style bike or bobber platform? Because it comes with the spoke wheels, it's got the chopped rear fender, it does come stock with the mini ape hangers. Why wouldn't you have just gotten a lowrider S? Everyone's financial decision is different. I would love a lowrider S, but I just couldn't afford it, and at the time I really wanted to upgrade. After a little bit of research, I do think this is a great platform to build off of, being the Milwaukee 8 107. There's still plenty of room if I wanted to continue to keep investing in this bike. Of course, when you think about the club style aesthetics, not to even get into the history of club style, but you're gonna think about a fairing, T-bars or tall risers, 2-to-1 exhaust, MX style pegs. That's kind of the vibe when you talk about club style nowadays. And to be completely honest, man, it's a really functional, practical, and in my opinion, and I know it's not for everybody, a stylish look. Start with one of my first upgrades, really, was the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. With my riding style, with me in particular, I like to ride fast, I like to ride aggressive, I like to ride whether I'm on the highway or the street, doesn't matter. Having this fairing is the most practical in my style of riding. It blocks so much wind, literally all the way from the top of my head and my body. It is narrow, but it does do a lot of coverage. And when I'm on the highway and I'm doing anything 100 plus, I don't feel like I'm getting blown off of the bike. I live in the northwest suburbs of Illinois, so once it starts becoming evening and we're in the middle of hopping around at motorcycle bars that are in the middle of nowhere, there's a lot of bugs that come out to play at night. So on those late night ride homes, it is nice to also have the fairing because it's keeping a lot of the bugs off of my helmet and my visor and my body. We can get into the T-bars or the risers. In my case, I have 6-inch risers with 2-inch pullback, which is nice because on the street bob you have this digital tack, and with the 2-inch pullback it sort of angles the tachometer right towards my eyes, so I love that. I think it's great to have T-bars or risers anywhere between 6.5 10 inches at the max at a 12-inch end rise. Most T-bars or MX style handlebars, I guess, or whatever the case is, you know, they come a little bit more narrow, so it really makes riding, in my opinion, more comfortable. It's not like some wide ape hangers, and again, anything I'm talking about I don't hate on. I think ape hangers are dope. On a cholo style bike, ape hangers look raw as hell to me. On bobbers, they look dope to me. But I'm just talking about club style, my opinion, my riding style. I just like T-bars or risers with a more narrow handlebar. It really makes riding so much more comfortable. I also like that whether it's T-bars or risers, they're directly into the forks instead of like on a handlebar clamp. Feels like a little bit more stable on the bike, especially when you're going a bit faster. I've had people who have ape hangers, and although they're really tight on the handlebar clamp, they will hit a bump and then all of a sudden the angle of their handlebars have been adjusted. Not to say that that can't happen with this setup, but it does feel a little bit more stable having T-bars or risers directly into the forks. Having the more narrower setup also helps with lane splitting. It's not necessarily legal out here where I'm from, but we do it nonetheless. And then you can talk about 2-to-1 exhaust. Most club style bikes are going to have a 2-to-1 setup. Doesn't always have to be. You get a lot more performance. Sure, they're not as loud as like a 2-to-2, but you get more performance out of a 2-to-1 exhaust. Bassani, Vance & Hines, Cobra, some of the higher end brands, HPI, Thrashin, D&D. If you guys are ever to do big bore kit to your bike, majority of the time these manufacturers will recommend 2-to-1 exhaust in order to reap the best performance out of your upgrade. Not to say that a 2-to-2 exhaust doesn't perform and whatnot, but again, if it's your bike, you could do whatever you want. Then you got the Saddleman step-up seat or any type of step-up seat. Not every club style has to have this, but typically when you think of a club style bike that you're seeing on Instagram or magazine or whatever the case is, they usually have sometimes a step-up seat. A lot of functional performance upgrades when you're talking about a club style bike, and having that huge step up locks me into the seat, and it feels so good to know that I'm not going to just slip off the back of the seat. I have sort of that wall that just holds me into place when I'm gunning it, you know? So I don't feel like I'm actually holding onto the handlebars as much. I can just pull back on the throttle, arms are relaxed, my butt securely in place. It's really an amazing upgrade, and it really looks good, feels good, and it does its purpose with the step up. MX style pegs, I got the cross threads mini floorboards. I don't know if that counts as a club style vibe, but I don't know, I'll talk about them quickly anyway. Having the mini floorboards, game changer. It locks my feet into place, and they're just so comfortable to not, and it took me a while to get used to, because with the foot peg, you're able to like roll your foot on it. So I totally get if that's something you're into, to be able to roll your foot on the foot peg. Maybe if you're doing cornering or if you're doing stunts, maybe it's a bit more practical. Me, as just a rider, having the mini floorboard, it is really nice to just lay my foot on it flat. Those are pretty much your typical upgrades for club style. To me, in my opinion, I love them because they're stylish, but most importantly, the functionality of these specific upgrades. Do I think it's pointless to do these upgrades on a street bob? Not at all. It's been done before. Plenty of people do it. Plenty of people turn the street bob into bobbers. Obviously, that makes sense. But honestly, I do think this is a great platform to build a club style bike on. Me owning this bike and the way it performs and the way it works with my style of riding, and I'm looking forward to building this bike out even more performance wise now that I've done most of these upgrades. The step up seat, the fairing, the pegs. I still need to do a 2-to-1 exhaust, so I still got some time, so I gotta save up money. But I am looking forward to building this thing out even more. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Is the street bob a good platform to do a club style bike on? What are your opinions? Should it just stay only a bobber style, or can it be club style? Or do you think it can be both and anything else in between? let me know in the comments below. That about wraps up my thoughts, guys. I figured I would just do that video quickly while I'm on my morning commute to work. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like it, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and until next time, guys, peace.